And last but not least, well, actually, I'm going to do a couple of more, but we've also got Talking Upstream. Talking Upstream, I know, is a favorite of a lot of folks that are involved here on this station and all of that. So we're going to see what Talking Upstream is all about as well, because, like I said, they do a number of great things. And of course, that's like working on a whiteboard, as definitely folks like to call that and everything. So I know that they are always involved in a number of great things with the Talking Upstream show. So I'm hoping that folks will enjoy what they hear about this show as well. So I'm here to bring up Talking Upstream, and we're going to see what they're all about, and hopefully folks will enjoy that also. So like I said, we're here to bring up that in just a matter of a minute or so. So definitely we will see about Talking Upstream right now. And definitely, we've got another great show as well that I know a lot of folks will be interested in. And that's another show that involves Sasha, but this one isn't about investing. It's about chess. And like I said, we've got a number of folks that have played chess or been involved in chess here on IBM.TV. So let's check out what Chess Stars is all about as well. And of course, we can't do this without our sponsors. And of course, one of our main sponsors is the Dollar Store. So let's check out and see what the Dollar Store is all about.
Hi, my name is Lynn Shepard. Our family owns an online dollar store, family.dollarstore.com. We have over 4,300 items on our site, quality items, and a lot less expensive than you might find wherever you're shopping, including on Amazon. We deliver for free if you spend $25 or more. And we also have a gift token program. Now, gift tokens are just like gift cards that you would get to shop at CVS, Target, Macy's, or a lot of other stores. And when you sign up to become a customer, you immediately get $5 worth of gift tokens to be able to use before you even make your very first purchase. So we encourage you to sign up to become a customer. We are here because we are supporting a not-for-profit, Money Masters PBS. Money Masters PBS owns IBM TV. Now, the mission of Money Masters PBS is to narrow the gap between poverty and financial sustainability.
Yep, and definitely that's what they do. They definitely narrow that gap between poverty and sustainability. And of course, that is a very important thing for folks to be involved in and all of that. So we definitely want folks to be encouraged to do a number of things to try to become more financially sound and more economically sound and all of that. So definitely that is one of the things that goes on regularly on IBM.TV. So definitely we have a number of things in that realm. And of course, we do have a number of things that are along that line. So do keep that in mind, that there are some great things that happen here. And of course, we're trying to encourage people to do some positive things as well. Speaking of encouraging people to do positive things, there are 2 funk shows on the weekend. So I need to let y'all know about that as well. So right now, let's check out about Funk from the Front Seat, as well as Funk Music with Zach. So right now, check out both of these and learn more about what these shows are all about as well.
know the funk don't always give you what you want, but it'll give you what you need. You know what I'm saying? We never left. Yo, we back. NHFA in your face. Bringing you something good to your ear hole, y'all. Check it out. It's our time to shine. It's our time to grind. It's the phone.
Yep, definitely. That's one of the great funk shows that we do on a regular basis. And of course, there's all kinds of great funk music happening. But let's check out this one as well. Yep, like I said, there's all kinds of great programming that happens here on IBM.TV on a regular basis. And like you heard, Nick was definitely referring to quite a few of the shows that exist. And of course, there are some amazing shows that exist here on this network. And of course, I want to let y'all know about a lot of them that exist and even share more about these amazing shows that exist right here on this powerful network, IBM.TV. So that being said, I'm going to bring up even a few more that you might be interested in learning more about, because like I said, there are so many great and amazing shows. One of them that I pop up on sometimes is none other than Med Fridays. So let's check out and see what Med Fridays is all about. You'll learn about the doctors and a lot of things that they've got to say. And of course, we did touch on some of that even on this past show. But let's see what Med Fridays is all about. Yep, and like I said, there are all kinds of great shows. Of course, you know, there's Med Fridays, and earlier today we had Economics Mondays. And you heard Nick allude to Mind Closet, and this is what that's all about. And you heard me talking about Podcasters Thursdays.
My name's Brandon. I'm a world traveler, foodie, and YouTuber. Together, you and I will find the best travel hacks, tips, and best places to explore. Join me as we find new adventures together, live only on IBM.TV.
Yeah, that's just some of the programming that exists right here on this network. I'm actually going to bring up Startup Wednesday as well, and a show that I know we're looking forward to, Aaron, which of course is social intelligence. Then I'm going to come back and talk about some things that are going on in the world of politics, including some things that you may be interested in about our voting situation and all of that. But right now, let's check out about Startup Wednesday. Intelligence. All right, here's some news that folks might be interested in. Voters whose absentee ballots have problems with their envelopes can now expect contact from the Board of Elections offices right here in North Carolina in order to fix their ballots by Election Day. And less than 24 hours after North Carolina added new guidelines on handling those problems, the North Carolina Court of Appeals ruled that ballots could be collected through November 12th if they were postmarked by 5 p.m. on November 3rd, which of course is Election Day. So definitely, I know some folks have gotten out there and done that early voting. I know that I had said I was going to do that in the first few days, and I still haven't got around to it. So I think I will definitely do that on tomorrow. The deadline extension approval is still pending before the U.S. Court of Appeals. 10,000 ballots had problems, but were caught in the crossfire of 3 lawsuits pending in both state and federal courts, and voters could not be contacted until the conclusion of those lawsuits that are now before the North Carolina Court of Appeals. But on Sunday, the North Carolina State Board of Elections issued the new guidance to county boards that allowed for voters to be contacted in order to fix their ballots before Election Day. So that's one of the things that is going on. And all of that, Senate Leader Phil Berger's office provided the News and Observer a letter written by Ryan Park, Solicitor General for the North Carolina Attorney General's office, to the North Carolina Court of Appeals. Park wrote in the letter that Berger and House Speaker Tim Moore agreed that new guidance can be given to the county boards that they may now contact voters who need to fix their ballots. Park told the appellate court that attorneys for Berger and Moore gave 2 conditions: that the guidance adhered to a new federal court orders, and that there is no mention of November 12th being the last day to accept ballots postmarked by 5 p.m. November 3rd, a matter decided later on Monday afternoon. Attorney General Josh Stein's office announced the changes and the court's decision Monday afternoon in 2 tweets. The state board, the legislators, and RNC agree that the cure process for absentee ballots can move forward, the first tweet stated. My office has notified the court, and county boards are resuming secure process to make sure every eligible vote counts. Within minutes, a response went out from Berger's Twitter account. And that response says, to clarify, Josh Stein and the North Carolina Board of Elections have agreed to abandon their mid-election rule change and accept the witness requirement law as it existed since earlier this year, which is what we've been requesting all along, the tweet said. Berger's office also sent a news release criticizing a secretive settlement and said that chaos was avoidable. Attorney General Stein and Governor Cooper's Board of Election rewrote absentee ballot laws after voting had already started, Berger said. Thankfully, they've abandoned their attempt to change the witness requirement law, and we can now move on with allowing voters to fix their absentee ballots. 2 lawsuits in federal court and 1 lawsuit in state court challenged whether North Carolina's election laws disenfranchise some voters because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Earlier this year, the General Assembly agreed to several changes to the state's voting rules, including reducing the number of witnesses from 2 to 1 who are needed for a voter to cast their ballot by mail. But Moore and Berger were left out of settlement agreement negotiations that they said circumvented lawmakers' rule changes and allowed absentee voters without a witness to sign an affidavit saying that it was their vote. Wake County Judge Brian Collins agreed to the settlement before U.S. District Court Judge William Osteen intervened and prevented that portion of the settlement agreement from moving forward. Osteen said that doing so violated the U.S. Constitution, which gives authority to making voting rule changes to the General Assembly. Osteen said he did not feel he had the authority to stop the other 2 agreements in the settlement from going forward. So that's part of what's going on in that news story and all of that. And by the way, I learned that yesterday, and I guessed that it would still be the same on today, but as of yesterday, there had been twice as many North Carolina votes that had been cast as that time of the year in 2016. So this article was from yesterday, and it did say that about as of on Sunday the 18th, that there had already been a number of votes that had already been cast here in North Carolina. So definitely that was some interesting and some positive news in the voting front. So about 163,000 votes were cast in person across North Carolina on Saturday, bringing the total to 828,456 in the state. That total is more than double the amount of people in North Carolina who had gone to the polls at this time in the 2016 election. So definitely it looks like folks are definitely increasing and going out to the polls. Saturday's total is about 136% higher than the 68,893 ballots cast on the first Saturday of 2016, according to Wake County Board of Elections member Jerry Cohen. More sites are available this year and the hours are longer, so increased availability means more people are getting to the polls to vote early, Cohen said. There's also heightened interest and a lot more information being pushed to residents about early voting sites than there was in 2016, particularly on social media, he said. For example, people could vote early at 291 places on Sunday in 44 of 100 North Carolina counties, including Wake, Durham, Orange counties, and definitely those counties were having that on. The first Sunday of early voting for the 2016 elections had 41 sites in 13 counties across the state. And what's the best time to vote? Cohen said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, or Sunday may be good days to avoid long lines. And the best time to go vote at the polls are between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. and between 5:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. on weekdays, he tweeted. More than 1.4 million votes have been cast, apparently. In addition to early votes cast in person, 605,322 absentee had been cast as of early Sunday morning. That brings the total number of votes cast to 1.43 million, more than 19% of the state's registered voters. So that's a good sign that we've got a lot of folks going out there and getting out there to vote and making their votes heard. So that's always a great thing when we have folks making their votes heard and making themselves aware and all of that. So definitely glad to see that. And I see that I got my good friend Brian Schumann back in the house and all of that. So glad to see that you are here. I was just sharing a little bit of news information as we get ready to talk about what's going on and all of that. had a leading entrepreneur on earlier, that being Jess Everhart, and of course one of our founders and all of that. So Nick popped in, and he's one of the founders of IBM.TV. So I know that Brian and it would possibly pop in, and hopefully we might even see Tim as well. And Brian's over there getting a message from his people and all of that. So definitely glad to see that Brian is in the house with me. I know that Kim is a big fan of Brian and Tim's and loves seeing the Cookie Monsters and all of that. So I don't know if the Cookie Monster and all of that stuff is available, but Kim was telling me that she's mentioned y'all at least 4 or 5 times in the last week, including yesterday, because she's a big fan of the magic that y'all work and all of that. So she is just a big fan of that magic. So like I said, if we got the Cookie Monster, we got any of those other antics going around, I'm sure that she would love to see those and all of that. But I know
I'm not sure about the Cookie Monster, but the Smurfs are in the house.
Smurf is in the house. Good to have a Smurf in the house. The Smurf is just showing all kinds of actions and all of that. So the Smurf is in the house. Wow. Yes. What does the Smurf think about what's going on in the world? The Smurf, whoa, we got something weird there. So we got something else. Oh, that's like Lightning Man. Lightning Man is in the house, and he's going to shock the whole world. And, we got fires over there in California. I'm not sure we trust Lightning Man. Now we got the Flash running through the neighborhood. So the Flash is running through the neighborhood and causing all kinds of trouble. We got the Flash just running through, causing all kinds of trouble here in the neighborhood. So the Flash is taking off and doing all kinds of amazing things. So definitely we had the Flash in the house. So I know that Kim will be glad that the Flash was in the house doing what the Flash does, because the Flash just loves taking off and causing all kinds of trouble. Next thing I know, Brian becomes Superman or something like that. Oh, there's the Cookie Monster. I need Lynn in the house now. We got the Cookie Monster in the house, and of course we sell cookies on the dollar store, so we know that the Cookie Monster is here and all of that. The Cookie Monster is in the house, so the Cookie Monster is causing all kinds of trouble here in the house and is just ready to bite up stuff and just eat plenty of cookies. I haven't got any cookies from Lynn lately, so I got to talk to Lynn about that. Oh, there's the cookies. So we've actually got some cookies for me to eat here in the house. So the cookies are in the house as well. So we got a number of cookies that are here, and they are causing all kinds of trouble. They look very delicious. I think I might need to go out here, but I got at least one more show to do on regular podcast. But it looks like I might have to go at around 9 o'clock and give me some cookies or something delicious to eat, because those cookies are looking real good. And the cookie's even shaking his head. The cookie does not mind being eaten. So the cookie's shaking his head, going yeah, you can eat me. I don't mind having a meal. I'm a cookie. So I need to be eaten. That's what my purpose is to be eaten. That's my whole purpose in life. Brian, I was around recently, and I was at my apartment complex, and there was a cat that was roaming around, and the cat was there. And I know Santa Claus, I've been saying I want a pet, but as most folks will tell you, I'm not a good housekeeping person, so I probably don't need a cat. But is there any cats that are around lately? Because, like I said, I saw a cat. I almost adopted a cat, but I was wondering, are there any cats in your magic that I can just adopt a local cat? So I need to see if there are any cats floating around in Brian's magic world to see whether we can get a cat going on and whether Santa will bring me that cat. Because I almost adopted a cat here in my neighborhood in Durham, North Carolina. Oh, there's a cat. There's a nice little cat. Yep, and it's actually a floating cat. It's a
He's literally floating around. Yes.
Yeah, literally a floating around cat. And it's floating around in somebody's bathroom. So it's a clean cat too, and most cats are. So, and there's a paw. There's a cat paw. So Brian has become a cat paw. So definitely he became. Oh, there's another cat. There's another cute cat wearing a hat and everything. He's got his own little cute whiskers and all of that. So the cats are in the house. The cats are in the house. My friend Jessica was on the show earlier. She's got a dog. So maybe we need to find some dogs to balance out for the cats, since we don't want to be unfair to the cat and dog owners. We know there's that little battle between cats and dogs. So let's be fair. Let's find some dogs too. Yep, there's a little dog. And it's giving you that cross eyes. I saw the cat. I did not like the cat, so it gave you that cross. Oh, there's some more. Definitely. And they give you that cross eye as well. They're sitting there going nope, I'm mad. You mentioned cats first. Dogs were supposed to get the first mention, but you mentioned cats, so I am highly upset at you for mentioning the dog. But Brian, one thing I know is that you also will sometimes have some very unusual pets as well. So I'm thinking that somewhere down there might even be a giraffe floating around. So Brian might have a giraffe floating around and all of that, because I know that he got all kinds of amazing animals: giraffes, tigers, lions, deers, turkeys. Oh my, all of that. So I'm trying to see, is there any giraffes popping around? Oh, there's the giraffe. And the giraffe is looking around, so and like, I think that giraffe needs his own IBM.TV show. We can call it the Giraffe Meets the Monkey Show. Giraffe meets monkey, and we'll give it as their own show. So we got the giraffe and the monkey in the house, and I think that they need their own shows and everything. I think that's a monkey, or is it a donkey? What is it, Brian? I'm not quite sure what that is, but it's kind of confusing.
It's a giraffe.
It's a giraffe. Oh, it's a small giraffe. It's a baby giraffe. It's the baby giraffe. Oh, there's the monkey. So yes, we'll have the giraffe versus the monkey, and that's a good old fashioned gorilla and all of that. We can have the giraffe meets the gorillas, and oh, wait a minute, I just that gorilla's got a necktie. Next thing I know, that gorilla is also gonna have like one of them battalions. So we're gonna call that Ice Tea Gorilla. So the gorilla might be involved in that world. So definitely, we might have the Ice Tea meets gorilla kind of gorilla going on. So I think that that's a rapid gorilla. I think that's a rapid gorilla because, like I said, he's got some kind of things going on, and he's over there jigging. Oh, we got Lipton iced tea in the house. First, you gave me a cookie. Now you're trying to make me thirsty. Y'all know that I love my sweet tea, and that's like some peach sweet tea. So y'all know I'm like thinking that that's going to be a good old meal between some tea and some good old fashioned cookies. All I would need to go with that is good old fashioned chicken to go with it, because you can't have a meal without having some chicken or some beef or something that's going to be a hearty meal. And I know I got some chicken in my refrigerator, so I'm thinking that the other thing that we need is some chicken over there. So like I said, we got some chicken in the house, and that chicken, I don't know, I'm not sure we can eat that chicken. That chicken looks a little scary, so I'm not sure it's been cured right. Okay, that chicken looks like it's more edible, so we got edible chicken in the house. So definitely I see some edible chicken in the house. That looks like chicken tenders. So we got some chicken tenders in the house and all of that, and they're just having a good old time and all of that. Is there any lasagna in the house? Because like I said, sometimes you might want lasagna to go with your chicken. So I don't know. Is there any lasagna in the house? And if so, where's that lasagna hiding at? Because I'm sure there's some lasagna hiding in the house as well. So definitely I'm thinking that we need some of that lasagna going on, because you can't have a meal without some good old fashioned lasagna. So I'm sure that Brian, oh yeah, we got a full lasagna. It looks like a good full meal of lasagna. Brian's in the middle of it, so Brian's got his whole lasagna thing going on. He's in the middle of the lasagna, and he's just having a good old time with his lasagna. So, like I said, I think that's a full meal. We just had a full meal. We might need some ice cream to go with it for dessert. So we might need some ice cream after we've had all this hearty food. We might need some ice cream for dessert, or either that or a good old fashioned pie. I'm not sure whether we need the ice cream or the pie, but we'll let Brian decide what dessert should be. Whether it should be, yep, there's the ice cream. We got ice cream in the house, so we got ice cream in the house to go with our full meal, and that looks like some healthy ice cream. I don't think that's that bad ice cream. I think that's the good ice cream. Oh, and then we got the whole full thing going on. So we got all of that going on. So we got pie and cake and ice cream. It's just a regular dessert. Oh, that just sounds way too delicious. So we got all of that going on, looking much too delicious in the world. Oh, there's some more ice cream and all of that. So, that just looks delicious as can be. So I think that that's going well. And we got that ice cream. We got that pie. We got all them other great things going on. I need Brian to come back as Brian, because I got a question to ask him. But then we might have some other things going on for a few more minutes with these great desserts. But I need Brian to come back as Brian and not the ice cream, because I need to ask him as to how he's feeling about his team, because I know that he's over there in Los Angeles or in California. I mean, he's actually, I think, more in one of them S towns, but there is a team that made it to the playoffs in baseball, the Dodgers, and of course they'll be playing the Tampa Bay Rays and all of that. But I was wondering, as one that has been in California, and I think you probably lived most of your life, if not all your life, in California, how are you feeling, Brian, about the Dodgers making it to the World Series? You already got the Lakers and y'all might have two teams in LA.
That's right. And I think it's fantastic. I grew up, born and raised in LA. I live in San Diego, but I am, it is obvious, of course, awesome to see my Lakers, my Lakers bring it home in the middle of a pandemic, right? But definitely proud of the Dodgers. Anytime I see my team I still love the Raiders, even though they left us. But yes, indeed. Shout out to
Even
the
though they're in
Dodgers.
Vegas, you still love them. But yeah, they're like I said, the Lakers did well, and looks like the Dodgers are in. They'll be going against the Tampa Bay Rays and all the thing. I did watch the game between the Dodgers and the Braves. I was actually rooting for what I was calling the Durham Bulls World Series. That didn't quite happen, but I was rooting for it. But that would have meant that your Dodgers lost because the Tampa Bay team is the parent company of the Durham Bulls, and so I was hoping that, and the Atlanta Braves used to be back when the Durham Bulls movie was out, the parent team of the Durham Bulls minor league. So they're both parent teams, both the Braves as the past parent team and the Rays as the current past team. That would have been like the Durham Bulls World Series because it would have been both parent teams against each other. But your Dodgers knocked it out of the park and won the game off that home run toward the end of the game. So glad that they managed to pull it off. You know, it wasn't quite what I was rooting for, but it was definitely a great game. I did watch most of it. I think I might have missed maybe a half an inning while I was fixing some turkey. Speaking of fixing food, I was fixing some, actually it wasn't turkey, it was chicken. I was fixing some chicken and all of that. So I was checking that out. But you know what's interesting, Brian? When I was watching the game, I noticed that there were actually fans in the baseball stadiums. Because you remember in basketball, there weren't any fans, but there was limited seating in the baseball, and it wasn't the cutouts. These were actual people in the
Wow.
audience. So there were actually people there in, I think those games were going on in Texas, but there were actual live people in the stands, and it wasn't like cutouts. It wasn't virtual. This was actual folks, but they actually managed to have those, unlike basketball, because I know it was those virtual fans in the basketball, and I know I've seen cutouts in some other sports, but including I think some of the early baseball games. But I don't know if it was because it was the championship going into the World Series, but no, they were actual living fans. So there were actual people there, and they looked like they tried to do some social distancing, even though there were people that were huddled together that I guess were from the same family or the same tribe, as we like to call it, and everything. But there were definitely fans in the audience, so that shocked me. I'm sitting there going, "Look," I'm
Crazy.
like, "Wait a minute, that's an actual person."
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was totally crazy. I was totally amazed. So is that the Dodger Stadium we have in the back behind you? Did you pull up a Dodger Stadium,
That
or is that somebody else's stadium?
that is Dodger Stadium. If they got it right, it is Dodger Stadium.
Cool. So we got Dodger Stadium.
Yes.
Brian is going visiting his old home stadium. How far, when you lived in Los Angeles, how far did you grow up from the stadium and all of that? And what was it like growing up in a town known for sports and known for that whole Hollywood kind of life? So you grew up in the midst of both a entertainment mecca and in the midst of a sports mecca because they've always had professional teams. So as a kid, what was it like growing up in that environment? Did you get to enjoy any of it as a kid?
I did actually. I used to go to Dodger games. I went to Raider games. I don't think I actually ever went to a Rams game. I went to a Clippers game. I did not go to a Kings game. Actually, no, I may have gone to one Kings game. But yeah, we definitely kind of covered all the bases, at least this back in the 80s, I feel like. From a sports perspective, it was always fun going to games. I actually went to Kobe's very first game as a Laker, but I grew up with the '80s Lakers. You know, when Magic was playing and Kareem and all those guys. So that was certainly fun. And I did grow up, you know, in the middle of the entertainment industry. So growing up as a kid, I went to school with a lot of folks in the entertainment business. Their kids went to the elementary school that I went to, as well as actually I went to school with most of the 80s Lakers kids. And, but again, a lot of folks that were in the business, be it music or film or TV, their kids went to the same school. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Did any of them ever invite you to a set or to one of their fancy Hollywood parties when you were a kid, or did you get to avoid those?
No, I mean, I did go to, yeah, I did. I remember going to, on set to a show Mark Harmon was doing at the time. I went to school with Tony Perkins' kids. You may remember him from Psycho. You know, and look, in my eyes, we're all just, you know, we're all kids, we're all family. I wasn't looking at it anything other than that. But yeah, I had gone to some movie premieres and, you know, things like that, which naturally would happen. I wasn't far from Westwood, which is where a lot of movie premieres took place. Yeah,
Cool.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to think.
yeah, that's cool, and you
Yeah,
definitely got to
yeah. I
spend
remember
those
going to Dudley Moore's
experiences as a
house when I
kid
was
and everything.
in
One of the
eighth
things that I
grade, I
know
think
Tim
it
talked
was.
about, and I was hoping he was going to pop in as well, but he's
Yeah,
probably busy with his kids and everything. But one of the things that I was curious about, and I know that
yeah. It's
Kim
dinner
was one of
time.
our other founders, and like I said, Nick was on earlier talking with Jess, who was one of our guests earlier in this show and everything. But I do know that one of the things that I'm sure Kim will be interested in, a number of the other folks that watch our various shows here on IBM.TV might be interested in, is this whole concept of this special class that y'all are offering, where y'all are going to teach how to do this magic of creating your own cookies and creating your own things of that nature. So, if you could, I'd love to hear more about this class that I think you and Tim have cooked up and everything. So I definitely hear that it's going to be a wonderful class. So I'd love to hear more about it. And if you can tell folks how they can get information about it, because I did hear there was a class that was going to teach folks a lot of this magical stuff that y'all do on a regular basis. Because as I know, Kim is always talking about, I really wish they would bring their toys to our set on a more regular basis. And I've sent out shouts every once in a while. So I'll keep sending those shouts out. Some of these times you and Kim's path, as well as you and Nick's path, will cross, but I know that even when she's not on, she's oftentimes watching and or listening. So she's probably even doing that right now. But definitely, if you could talk about what y'all have got going on. I think it's starting in. Is it next month or is it later this month?
It's next month, so I'm suited up for it because our course is called "How to Make Your Live Show Memorable," now more than ever. And if you already have a live show, but you want to make it more memorable and have a bigger impact in the world, then this is the course for you. So, you know, if you know, in these times that we're in, you know, that we're all living in and through, you know, people are really yearning for a connection, and they want to connect with people who they can relate with, because it's all about relatability. So how to make your live show more memorable it's a 3-week course. It's hosted by myself and my producer, Tim Sohn, my dear friend, designed specifically for everyone that already has a live show and wants to level up. So it launches Monday, November 16th. And each week we'll release 2 recorded videos, a total of 6. And there'll be 2 live Q&A sessions in a private Facebook group. So there'll be 6 of those as well. And it'll range everything from how to define your vibe, 2 parts to engagement, looking at things like run a show in tech, how to promote your show, repurposing to extend the impact of your show. And yeah, it's something that Tim and I have been talking about for a while. And, you know, we want to do what we can to help folks as much as we can, you know, again, now more than ever. I think everyone realizes out there the importance of showing up digitally. And
Right.
and I think people are looking to really up level their shows, or maybe they're looking to start a new show and they want to really give it a much more flavor and really make it pop a little bit more, you know. And so, yeah, super excited about that. I will definitely provide you with the link, Mark, so you have it. In fact, here
Please
I'll
do.
drop it to you real quick. I'll drop it to you in the
In the chat.
comments, private chat, so that you have it.
Yeah, but I'll definitely grab that and create a banner for that and everything so folks can learn more about what that is and everything. Because, like I said, I know a lot of folks will be very much interested in that. If you were going, and like I said, I had my friend Jess on, and one of the things that she had earlier was she did a Black Wall Street kind of event, and there was a woman that was going to go to Mars and everything. So she trained to go to Mars. So since you're in the space outfit, if you were going to go someplace over and out in space, where would Brian go? Would Brian go to Mars? Would he go to Venus? Would he go to Pluto? Or does he want to go way past the galaxies? If Brian is the spaceman, go anywhere he wants to go in space, where are you heading off to, Brian?
Wow, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I always thought it'd be really cool to kind of look at things from the outside, right? Be able to actually be out in space and looking at all the planets and looking at Earth. And I know there's certainly a lot of people out there that are exploring ways to colonize another planets, which I think is really cool. So yeah, good question. But I think that'd be
No
just
problem.
be really,
Was there anybody
yeah.
when you were growing up? There was a space show that you were an admirer of. Like, were you a big fan of Star Trek, Star Wars, Lost in Space? Any of those shows growing up? What shows did you like? There were those space science fiction kind of shows.
Yeah, so I was a fan of Star Wars. Big fan. I am a big fan of Star Wars. I did watch Star Trek too. I find it interesting. I think, you're either a Trekkie or you're into Star Wars. And I definitely was into Star Wars more. But I did watch Star Trek. But yeah, Star Wars through and through for sure. We've actually had a few friends from Star Wars visit us on the show. If I can get my filters to work accordingly with me on timing. Hang on a second.
Was Obi Kenobi one of them? Oh, Darth Vader has made an appearance here on IBM.TV. So Darth Vader is having a memory moment. But like I said, Darth, I've got a question for you, Darth. So like I said, we've got Darth Vader in the house, and I've always wanted to interview Darth Vader and everything. Darth, they say that, you were actually the father of the main character of Star Wars, and y'all had like this whole father-son relationship. So as Darth Vader, could you please tell us what your thoughts were about the main character? Because it seems to me that you got the short end of the stick. Because, like I said, they never really gave you the respect, but you were the dad in the figure. So, Darth, what was your thoughts on Luke? Like I said, everybody gave Luke Skywalker the great comments, and they always gave him the great accolades. But you were actually his father. So, what was your thoughts on Luke Skywalker? It seems to me that Darth was saying that he really did not understand why Luke could abandon him and did not join the Force. He was supposed to join with him, and they were supposed to be together as one and be unified. And he never did understand what Luke had against him. He really thinks that Luke's mom said something very bad about Darth back in the day, because he's thinking that that's actually what threw him off, was the mom was saying very bad things about about Darth back in the day. And he really didn't do anything to Luke's mom. They had a loving relationship, but definitely he did not get the kind of respect that he wanted from his wife at the time, and who was Luke's mom. So he definitely is upset that definitely. And I understand that he and I'm curious to hear from from Darth about this as well. But it's my understanding, and we got Yoda, and I understand Yoda was also highly upset as well. But I'm curious to hear about Darth and Yoda, because it's my understanding that neither one of them were invited to the wedding between Luke and I think it's Princess Leia or something like that, but they were not invited to that wedding. So how did y'all feel about that, Darth? Darth, that was you're supposed to be over there with your son and being there with him while he's getting married, but he got married and he didn't even invite you to the wedding. Well, you weren't even invited to the wedding, were you? No, he's shaking his head. He got no invitation to the wedding, and he's still holding a grudge about that. I want Yoda to come back in, because I don't think Yoda was invited either. Yoda, were you invited to the wedding? And how did you feel about not being invited to that particular wedding? Because I don't think Yoda was invited either. Yoda, how did you feel about not getting invited to the wedding? Because I think that you were, because Luke was supposed to be your buddy. We see you and Luke, and sometimes it seems like he treated you almost like he thought you were a dog or his cat. But you're not a pet. You're an actual cognizant, normal being. So you definitely have feelings and all of that. And I think that he hurt your feelings and not inviting you to the wedding and all of that. So am I correct, Yoda? Was your feelings hurt when you weren't invited to that wedding? See, still upset about it. Still upset about it to this day. So, like I said, and I understand. The word on the street is they even had a kid, and they didn't even send you a notice about the kid's birth. See. And Yoda's looking at me like, I didn't even know they had a kid. So Yoda didn't even know this. This is news to him on IBM.TV. I understand it might have been twins. They had twins, and they didn't even tell you about the twins, did they, Yoda? Did they tell you about the twins? No, did not tell you about the twins at all. And Yoda and the rest of them are highly upset. I wonder if R2D2 is around. That was always a really cool robot, and I wonder if he's around as well, because I know we saw Yoda, we saw Darth Vader. I wonder if R2D2 is anywhere to be found, because those robots are actually, I think the robots are taking over the world. I've heard that the robots are taking over the world even to this day, and things of that nature. So Darth Vader may have some thoughts about that, because I know he really wants to take over the world. Oh, there's R2D2, and there he is. But what are your thoughts? It looks like there's another one, and they're taking over the world. So it looks like computers are taking over the world in this COVID era. So even Brian, as the voice robot man, might agree that the computers are taking over the world and causing all kinds of trouble.
Yes, indeed. The force is strong. Watch out.
The force is very strong, and definitely there's a lot of things going on. I was highly upset. I'm gonna have to talk to my friends over there on those talk show circuits. Like the Phil um, and the Oprahs of the world, because I think we just revealed something, because I don't think that a lot of people knew that Yoda and Darth Vader were not invited to the wedding. So I think that we just revealed a big fact that is not known by a lot of people in the community. So I think that I need to reach out to my talk show fellow hosts and everything, and have them appear on those shows like Oprah and like the other ones that exist. Maybe they can even be, hey, maybe Geraldo can do an investigation about why he wasn't invited. So we could have Geraldo do an investigation. So I think that we need an investigation as to why they weren't invited and who else wasn't invited. Because I hear that there were a number of folks, including that whole group of soldiers that are usually involved as well, that were not invited as well. So definitely, I'm not sure where that is and everything, but definitely I think that they were not invited in the least bit. So definitely all of that they need to do a better job of, and do a better job of letting folks know about that. So definitely, I don't think we're seeing enough of that in the world. So what is your thoughts about that? Do you think that they need to do an investigation about that? And by the way, I just heard through the grapevine, and this is what I heard through the grapevine, and I know you got a grapevine over there somewhere, but I just heard through the grapevine that if the person in 1600 does not win re-election, he is not going to Russia. He is not going to China. He is not going to Russia, but he is actually not even going to Australia. And I know we've got some producers out of Australia, but what I am hearing on the grapevine is that if that person currently have occupying 1600 loses the election, he is going to outer space. I understand that Mr. Trump will be having a new home in none other than Mars. He's debating between Mars, Pluto, and Venus. So, grapevine, which one do you think he should go to? Should he go to Mars, Venus, or Pluto? So I'm sure that the grapevine has some ideas as to where he should go, and I would love to hear from the grapevine where he thinks he should go, which one of those he should go to, and all of that. Because I'm sure that you have some ideas as to where he should go. Oh, we got the moon. So it looks like he's been recommended to go to the moon and all of that. So it looks like the moon is where the Graves are saying he should go, and they're winking at us and all of that. And we are letting folks know about the class that you got going on Eventbrite. The other one might have been a little bit too long, but we do have the short version, and it is talking about how to make your show memorable, and definitely letting folks know as the banner goes across the screen, telling folks about where they can go to become memorable doing these kind of crazy antics that Brian loves doing, and sometimes Tim joins as well, and all of that. As a matter of fact, I think we just have to have like some antic shows going on. I know I got another show on Wednesday, the online dinner party, and I will reach out to Brian and Tim to appear on that one as well as next week. But Brian, I'm thinking that we also need to reach out to some of your other friends that know how to work this magic. I have not mastered it yet. I don't think my computer is of that quality yet, so I got to upgrade my game in order to play with y'all, in order to have like these fun things. But in the meantime, until I upgrade my game, I think that we need to get some of your other friends like Stephanie Lou and some others to come join us, because so far it's been you and Brian, but I know that we need some female voices in here as well. So if you have their emails, or if you want to pass on the link to them, I think that on Wednesday they can come and do a segment as well, so we can have some female voices. Because I think that a couple of the folks that, I think Veronica might have some of the toys that goes on with doing that, and I know that some of the other people that appear on your Voice Your Vibe and on a number of your other things like What's Up Wednesday, that I've seen them playing with it. So I know they've got Snap Camera, even if I've got it and it doesn't seem to work on my computer. So I might have to upgrade my computer or download it, reload it, or somehow make it work. But in the meantime, we can get some of those ladies to come join the party. Not to knock you and Tim, y'all do a great job, but we want to get a little bit of female voices, and maybe we'll have Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Now more than ever.
Now more than ever. For sure.
Yes.
So definitely.
Or Tim and I can get our twin sisters to come join.
That'll work. You can get your twin sisters on. Your twin sisters. Yeah, I'm not sure about you as a woman. I'm not sure I see Brian as a woman yet, but yeah, Brian. And what is your twin sister's name? Is that Bethette? Brianette? What is your twin sister's name?
It's Brianna. So Tamitha and Brianna. Those are our twin. Those
The
are
twins.
the twins. Yes, and every now and then they come on the show and have some fun and say hi. But yeah, it is cool. Something that you did mention, Mark, which is that a lot of our guests have had filter envy, and they feel a little left out. They want to join in and play. So they have figured out how to download SnapCam onto their computers and come onto the show and have a good time. We actually just had that happen on Shout Out Saturday, episode 129 this last weekend, and it was fantastic. I actually posted a picture of it on LinkedIn today. It's the Pink Ladies were in full effect. So I'll give you a link right now here to the to the post, and you'll see it for yourself. It was tons of fun. We had lots of friends and kids. And
that sounds like a scary thought.
Yes.
The Pink Ladies being in full effect sounds like a very scary thought, and all of that. So we're gonna see what this all looks like and everything with the Pink Ladies in full effect. I'm sure that this is going to be highly scary and all of that. So I just know that when y'all get into full effect, is no telling what might go on and all of that. So definitely, I see that you've got things going on and all that. So I'm actually going to post it as a comment and everything. I was going to try to pull up the actual page, but it probably works better as a comment, and then they can pull it up and everything. But definitely, I know that y'all do some great and amazing things with those great guests and everything. By the way, I keep saying I'm going to appear on the Saturday show, but I produce my friend Zach's Funk show, and that's usually at around the same time, because I think that y'all are around 12 to 1:30, and that's around the time that he does his show as well. The good news is that we have another producer that has picked up Tish's show and is working with Tish on her show, because usually I would not be able to make it at all. But now that that is going on, if there are times that it goes over past the 1:30 mark, my time on the East Coast, and if y'all go to 2 or anything like that, I can join on those shows now, because now, like I said, they've got some other producers that are helping me out as well. So definitely they can see what's going on and all of that. So I will try to jump on. Hopefully y'all will have some shows where you go till 1:30 or 1:45 or 2, or maybe even some shows where Zach ends at his usual time, or his scheduled time of around 1:15 or so. So hopefully I'll be able to pop on and join y'all on the Saturdays. Wednesdays generally
we are problem. Generally when we do 90-minute shows, and actually Saturday we wound up running a little over 2 hours, just because we had so many guests join us, and it was great. It was a great episode. We had an absolute blast. In fact, in that link that I just sent you, Mark, that has a picture in the body of the post, you actually see the link to the show where you can catch it on LinkedIn Live. The best analogy I could give you is it's like Saturday morning cartoons came back again. Cool. So we had an absolute blast together. Yeah.
Sounds great. Well, I'm glad that you were able to pop in. Like I said, I was hoping Tim was going to be able to pop in. I've actually got to bounce off and get ready to do my third show that I do on Mondays, which is just the straight podcast and all of that. So I'm getting ready to end the broadcast and all of that. But definitely anybody that's watching, if they want to call into the regular podcast, it'll be taking up place, including you, Brian. The number is 646-668-8393. And if you find that, or if you want to call in doing our regular show, and there's no visual, it's just audio, but if you want to call in and talk about what you got going on on LinkedIn, and anybody else that's listening, if they just want to join in on the conversation. I think we've got a Chinese lantern folks that'll be calling in, and a couple of other folks that might be calling in as well. So, Brian, I was glad you were able to pop in, and I'll definitely send you the link for the Wednesday show, and hopefully you can pop in on that as well. But I always know that if I need some filler, where to go to, and that's my man Tim and Brian, because they always come through for me like champions. So definitely want to thank you once again for popping in and for helping me in the show and all of that. And on that note, I'm going to bring in our airplane that we use to close out everything and get ready to get on out of here with that fancy airplane that we use to end the show and all of that. So once again, it's been a delightful conversation. Like I said, we had Nick on earlier, and he was sharing a little bit about his wisdom and things that he's got going on with IBM.TV and some things that he was interested in. And then we also had, of course, Jess Everhart, who is a leading business entrepreneur here in the Durham area and also a fellow podcaster. And then, of course, we got my good friend, Brian Shulman. But right now, we're getting ready to end with that fancy airplane to get us on out of here. Let me hit the end broadcast.